All right, man. Wanted to hop on here and talk about the new Metazoo. MetaTwo 2025/2026 Metazoo products. I wanted to talk about them and not being on TCG Player. Now, this is being recorded on February 15th. You never know. Maybe they pop up in the next week. I think it will be about a week until this video is uploaded for you. But I do want to talk about MetaTwo not being on TCG Player and how that definitely affects the popularity of the game. Because there are, I don't know how many users on TCG Player. I'm going to say per day, probably 1 million people on this website per day. That's just my guess. It could be way more. It might be slightly less. But when you have millions of people visiting TCG Player, for whatever reason they're here, you're going to have a percentage of them who are curious. You're going to have a percentage of people speculating. They will look at other games. They'll just click around and see, oh, what's this? What's this? Now, when it comes to your Magic buyers, your Pokemon buyers, and I guess we can say One Piece buyers, even though this is a fairly new thing for them, when it comes to the Magic and Pokemon side of things, I'm going to guess 50% of the buyers are going to stick to their category here. But there could be another percentage that maybe makes its way over the more products. And there are just people in general that live in the more product section. You have a ton of games over here. And even if the, game you're looking for is Gundam, for whatever reason, maybe one day your eyes just scroll down, you see Metazoo. And you click on it. And it's like, oh, I saw Metazoo at Walmart this week. And you click on Metazoo here, and you're like, what is this? This isn't what I saw. And that's the problem. MetaTwo is not on TCG Player. TCG Player needs to take this first version of Metazoo off. They need to get rid of this completely. I do not think in any way, shape, or form that the original Metazoo should even be on TCG Player anymore. I understand why it is, but being that there is a new version of the company that is currently in print and that is currently active, I don't think it makes any sense for the original Metazoo to be out here, at least in the current state that it is. I don't even know if you would want to take away this. You could do something like retired Metazoo or Metazoo pre-MetaTwo. I don't know how you would do it. I just think when you click on Metazoo, it shouldn't be this stuff. It should be the new card game, the MetaTwo company card game. And I think TCG Player, I don't know if it's a spite thing because of the Hello Kitty disaster. I don't know if it is just an oversight in general. I feel like it isn't, considering Metazoo is on their third set, and I think the MetaTwo acquisition was a pretty big deal. And the other thing is, I think the new Metazoo is actually a really great product. I think it's really nice. And I think it absolutely deserves to be on TCG Player. Now, don't get me wrong. Not every single card game is on TCG Player. There's another card game I like that is not on here, and that is the Upper Deck Neopets TCG. There are plenty of other TCGs as well that aren't on here, and maybe they should be, but as of right now, they're not. And while I don't like the Neopets card game nearly as much as the new Metazoo, the fact that we have an old Metazoo on TCG Player that could easily be replaced with the new products in the new set, I don't know, man. It rubs me the wrong way. Because if we could have the new Metazoo product on TCG Player, people could go to a certain set, and we'll do it for this. Let's just pick Wilderness. It's not the greatest set in the world, but we'll do Wilderness First Edition. And the highest price card is the Prism Aura at $17, which is insane. I remember when those things were like 50, $60, even when the company was still going under. Now they're 17. It's a beautiful card if you see it in person. Anyway, you see $17 here on the most expensive card. If you look at, you could even go to Torrential Tides. or torrential tides. I can never remember the exact pronunciation. But you can go to that and see that the hidden rare frog is like $300 to $400. You have to understand that prices like that raise eyebrows. All right. Now, don't get me wrong, torrential tides boxes might not be $20, but they are $50. Okay. And the hidden rares are one per case. So you have a 1 in 12 shot to get a hidden rare for a $50 box. And then you have like a 1 in 7. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a 1 in 7 chance to roll the frog. So it's just like, man, TCG player is doing such a disservice to the new Metazoo, which there's been rumors, and I'm going to be honest with you, I am not going to take Rudy's word for it, like the gospel, because Rudy has said a few questionable things lately. And it's not, this is no hate to Rudy. I love the guy. I've been a patron well over a year now. I've been watching him for about 7 years, and I just never had a reason to become a patron because I didn't have the finances like that. And then this year, well, a year ago, the business started to really get, in a good flow where I was comfortable becoming a Rudy patron and, occasionally ordering a little bit of magic and trying things out for the business. And, when Rudy says allegedly Metazoo is not performing that well, I'm going to be honest. I honestly believe it. Like, I believe that it's not doing well right now, and they still need to keep their foot on the gas. They have a phenomenal product. I really like it. And this isn't any glaze. I don't have any skin in the game. You can go to our eBay store. I don't have any Metazoo sealed product for sale. I have some in my physical location, but the majority of the Metazoo that I've come across, I have opened it. And the majority of the Metazoo I've actually gotten to open lately is from the 2-pack blisters that they put in Walmart. Make sure I'm not showing anybody's name or anything because I had some previous orders. You can see our listing right here, 21 watchers. I've only sold 8 moths, but I haven't taken any offers on this. I've gotten the $10 per moth. That is how much the 2-pack blisters are in store. So I don't know how many do I have? Can I see? More than 12. I have 13 left. So I have opened a decent little bit of both the products, the base set and torrential tides, and I've really enjoyed it. And I've started to buy the frog promo as well. I haven't listed those yet. I just have a pile of them just because I wanted to open more Metazoo, and I'm not even getting a good deal. When I was selling the moths for $10, I was, because after fees, after shipping, I was paying basically $1 a pack. That's cheaper than right now, like, distro price per box. I think it's like $60. So, that's like 2 something a pack. When I was selling these moths for the full 10, I'm paying $1 a pack. That is a great time to get to open some product and check it out. And I've opened a fair bit of some of these other card games, and there are some I like, and there are some I really like. And I said this in the Metazoo video, I think, the other day. I really, really like the current format that Metazoo is doing. The reverse hollows, the reverse hollows, not the full silver borders, like this Mothman. The reverse hollows having the Cosmos pattern and having the ability to get HD swirls like old Pokemon is genius. It's phenomenal. Having these full art styles, I don't know if I love them, but they're okay. Having these full art textured Giga Chad variants of hidden rares and all this, it's amazing. Just having regular alternate arts is amazing. And still paying homage to the old Metazoo with new, better arts, not the ugly ass red borders. There is a lot going for the new Metazoo. And I gotta say, I actually really like the back of the card with the aura. Dude, the aura, excuse me. I don't want to get corrected. The aura looks amazing. Just the aura design in the black borders, the black backs. I gotta tell you, everything is going right. Just the consumers the public has not gotten to experience it enough. We're just not there yet. We need more word of mouth. We need more people talking about it. We need more YouTubers. We need more everything. I think Metazoo isn't there yet. You know, Pokemon, when it first dropped in 99, I'm pretty sure was like a hit. But at first, in the first couple of months, was it? I don't know. Right now, we are in an era where there's a bajillion card games as well. There's a ton of them. So, there is almost a 0% chance MetaTwo or anybody from that company would see this video. But I do want to put this out in the universe, and I do want to make more MetaZoo content in the future. I do want to put this in the universe. If you're hearing this and you have any bit of say or any bit of communication, open line to some of the head of the company, I would say just keep going. You know, I know money doesn't grow on trees. I completely understand that there might be some financial trouble potentially, but I need you to understand you have the framework. You're doing everything right now. And I really do see a future with Metazoo. I'm not gonna sink all my money into it and invest like crazy, but I see the potential and I do want to enjoy the product and get to open the product. And like the new set that came out a couple months ago, I want to grab a box of it, man. I just don't know where to get it from a reputable source. I would much rather honestly just get a case in so I can actually stock some and have that chase for the alternate box art as well. You know, those alternate boxes go between $1,500 to $2,000. That is another genius gimmick. It is genius. I mean, they're doing so many things right, and I'm not even trying to glaze. Like, I have no skin in the game. I really like what they're doing, man. I genuinely really do. If I had a shitload of money, like a stupendous amount of money, I would do everything in my power to buy multiple cases of base set, multiple cases of tides, multiple cases of the new set, and I would just love to hold some. But I don't got Rudy money, all right? When it comes to me, like, I really, all I can really afford to do when it comes to holding positions is a couple booster boxes of Pokemon every single release, maybe a collector box of Magic here and there. You know, every single month I can allocate $300 to $600 to holding a little bit of product. You know, I am not even close to being able to drop, you know, even if I can get it at distro, just to hold sealed, not when it comes to selling it, you know, even dropping 720 on something that is at this point when it comes to the market unproven, you know, it just doesn't fully make sense right now. I would love to though. When it comes to potentially selling it, I don't know if the boxes contain enough EV for me to ever want to get cases and open the stuff. I also don't really want to be the guy who, you know, opens a fresh case. You know, I start opening boxes, hit the hidden rare, and then sell off the rest of the boxes. But unfortunately, that would most likely be the correct business first, most profitable thing to do. I would feel pretty shitty about it, though, to be honest. But it's something that happens. And that's the whole reason why I don't want to buy a box anywhere. Because, like, I know for a fact it happens in the Weiss market. It happens in all the markets. The case hit gets pulled, and then people sell off the rest. It's just how it is, man. So, you know, again, on the off chance anyone from MetaTwo is listening to this, if distro price is 60 a box, I don't know, like, if I would really be interested, but if you guys are taking on new accounts, I don't know if you're doing stuff through official distribution chains like GTS and Peach State and Southern and all these guys, or if it's direct. But if it is direct, I genuinely would be interested in getting a case per set and stocking it, as long as I can get it at, you know, the distribution cost and right at release, you know, when stuff is going to be expensive. You know, even if booster boxes are, you know, 80 to 90 bucks, if I can throw an $80 price tag, throw some shipping on there, you know, out the door for somebody after their tax, it's under 100, and I'm still making 10, 15 bucks a box, and, you know, maybe I can sell 8 boxes and I get to hold 2. I have a small investment into 2, and I get to open 2. Just something like that even. and to also have the alternate box chance. You know, it's just there's a lot of things I want to do with this. This right now, I just can't, and it sucks. But truth be told, right now, when it comes to TCGs, I put a tiny bit of money just to diversify a little bit here, a little bit there. And the sealed market for Metazoo is non existent. It is not profitable in any single way. The prices are in the dirt already, which is unfortunate. But the singles prices actually are doing pretty well. The singles are holding up well. So all my Metazoo I've got, besides what's at my physical location, which is just some packs, you know, I have opened it because there's no reason to keep it sealed. And it's just a shitload of fun to open. But, like, I have a little bit of Star Wars Unlimited. I have Twilight Republic, I think it's called. And then I have a box of Force Awakened, I think. It's the blue box. Like, I have only 2 boxes of Star Wars Unlimited. I don't have any more. When it comes to the Neopets TCG, I have base set. And then I have Diabolus set. You know, I only have 2 boxes of that. When it comes to Dragon Ball Fusion World, before it pumped recently, I only bought 2 sets of that. The first 2, Awakened Pulse and Blazing Aura, which, funny enough, now are actually doing well and they're selling well. But that has been a very, very trend for me. Like, for Lorcana, the only thing I have is Azurite Sea. That's the only set that I have in. And then at my physical location, I have some of the first chapter, and I also have some Floodborn there. But, like, when it comes to these TCGs, man, I really don't go heavy into them unless I really believe in them. And this is like my next target. It just doesn't have the market behind it. And circling back to what we talked about at the beginning, I think if it was on TCG Player, it might start to get better. It might be more attractive. It might have more liquidity. We just don't have it right now. So that's where we're at. I think MetaTwo is going to be a contender. They just need to keep pushing through the bullshit right now. And we saw this same thing happen with Flesh and Blood, I believe. Flesh and Blood, like 4 or 5 sets in, just like wasn't doing that great. And they just kept pushing. And then it just caught. It just caught wind, and it's been doing pretty good, all things considered. It's not like Pokemon level, but it's doing good. So that's where we're at, man. You know, right now, if you put in front of me a case of Metazoo or a case of Star Wars Unlimited, let's even pretend Carbonites don't exist. I'm buying the Metazoo all day long. If you put a case of Digimon in front of me or a case of Metazoo, I'm going to buy the Metazoo. And if you put a case of, like, certain Union Arena stuff, which, you know, let's say it's a bad IP, I think I would still go ahead and buy Metazoo over a bad IP of Union Arena, like a case of it. So, you know, it's up there for me, man. And I think it's a matter of time. So, let me know what you guys think down below. How do you feel about 2025 Metazoo, 2026 Metazoo, you know, MetaTwo? Just, you know, one of the biggest things definitely is keeping the same name really makes it confusing when you're talking about it in the present. Because, you know, it's the same name. It's the same name as the company that failed and screwed everybody. But at the same time, the cards do say MetaTwo Enterprises there at the bottom. So, I don't know, man. I say keep it up. I think they're doing great. And just keep pushing and keep producing good products. And if it does get to a point where things are starting to really go south, I would say start reducing cost and start printing less. And what you will see happen is if you're printing less and it's a very strict supply, I think that'll increase prices. And you know what happens when prices increase? People start talking because things are expensive. You start making money on things. When you start making money on things, you can at least get some publicity. Don't forget that even bad press is good press. So in this case, I feel like we just need to get people to start talking about it. And I'm here for it, man. I genuinely think there's a future with MetaTwo. And I hope to get some soon, for sure. I'd love to get a couple boxes just to open as well. So Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.